I just got home from the library and that was a really successful day. Hello and welcome from my little writing space here in Vienna. My name is Luise. I am a literature student and writer, and I had my first university week now in March. I'm quite tired after this. There were so many courses and so many new people, and it was a good week, but I'm really, really tired. I still wanted to make this video and talk about short stories because I am working on a short story that I want to submit to an Austrian literature magazine because they are open for submission until next Friday. And yeah, I've been working on my novel for a very long time now, and there haven't been a lot of time to write anything besides that, or just my mind wasn't up to it. I started my novel during National Novel Writing Month last November. It's still a big chaos, but I really like writing short stories, even though they often turn out to be some kind of prologue for a much bigger story. So I often get the response or the feedback that my short stories seem to be quite big from the idea. They always seem like there is a lot more in the background happening, and I could do a much larger story than just a few pages. So the newspaper's topic for the short story is memory. So I have to write a short story to the topic memory. It's not supposed to be any longer than 4 pages. And at the beginning, I really aimed to write something light and beautiful, maybe positive. It doesn't have to be super cheery or happy, but I just wanted to go for a lighter topic. And then I started brainstorming, and I will show you my Pinterest board. It turned out quite dark. My stories often seem quite heavy and have heavy topics. I don't know, just comes more natural to me, I guess. So this short story is not going to be light and cheery, I can tell you that much. It is fantasy, and I was playing with the idea of what happens with our memories when they are gone. I don't think the idea is very new or brilliant, but I really liked how it turned out in my head and the tone I found for it, because I started writing it, and at first the tone was very poetic, and I realized I can't keep this up for several pages, and I stopped writing after 1 page and realized the character doesn't really feel right with this kind of writing style. So I started all over again, and now I really like it. The plot has shifted a little bit, but I have a very good feeling about it, and my Pinterest board was a big help putting the story together. Also a playlist that I was listening to. I really like listening to music while writing. It helps a lot to get into the right mood, or at least that's how it feels for me. And yeah, let's see if the newspaper likes my little short story. It would be beautiful if they wanted to print it. That's always an honor. It hasn't happened very often. After the library, I headed to one of my first classes this semester, and it was about cancel culture in the literary field, which was very interesting. And after university, I also went to a bookshop, but I'm very proud of myself. I didn't buy anything, but I couldn't resist to go inside. I just got home from the library and that was a really successful day. So I managed to do some university work, some research on an essay that I have to write. And I also wrote a little article, or I started with the article because we have a newspaper from the Department for Scandinavian Studies. And I'm part of the team and started to write my little article because the next issue is gonna come out in, well, there's still a little bit of time, but we have to read them through again and then do the layout and all of that stuff. We do all of that on our own. So we have a very small team. We do all of the stuff ourselves. And it is a lot of work, but very rewarding when you have the finished paper afterwards. So yeah, I did that. And then I also started, or I kept working on the idea for my short story. And I must say, I did write a little bit, but I'm not 100% happy with the story idea that I came up with last time. I tried to work a little bit on it, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna stick to it. Maybe I will shift some parts of the story, but we'll see. And it's just great that I took the time and wrote a little bit. It was much, but still. And afterwards, I also had a class. So my semester started again. And today was my first one, and it was really nice. Now I'm at home. I'm just going to take it easy from here and get cozy, make some tea, and relax. This is the Pinterest board that I created for the short story, and like I said in the beginning, it is quite dark, but I do like the atmosphere, and I had a few pictures in mind that I specifically searched for, like the spinning wheel, and then for those of you who saw the Netflix series The Sandman, you might recognize some of the images from that series. Also, from the book The Sandman by E.T.A. Hoffmann, I can highly recommend that. It is such an amazing story. So I was going for that vibe. And the picture with the cat and the raven became quite important when I revisited the story, because I didn't stick to my first idea. And then when I was editing it, this picture was quite inspiring. For the playlists, I always have a lot of different soundtracks and playlists saved on my YouTube for, studying and writing. And for this project, I was heavily relying on Game of Thrones playlists. The first one was already a good vibe. The second one, not so much. It was a bit too lovely. Then there is a different one, The Magic Bookstore, that I absolutely love, but not for this project. And then the last playlist that you see here was perfect. It was definitely the vibe. The wall in Game of Thrones and the snow and the icy cold, that was perfect. I would love to hear if you also found time to sit down and write a short story maybe, and if this could be inspiring for you. maybe find some time, sit down and write something that comes up to your mind when you hear the word memory, and maybe it sparks a nice idea. And let me know in the comments if that is the case, because I really love short stories. I think it's a very interesting format. It's so dense and compact, and it's also a little bit cheap sometimes, because you don't have to think about what happens afterwards or before. You can just put it out there and be like, okay, it's those 4 pages, take it or leave it. Sometimes that works with short stories. So yeah, I still have my university work lying here on the table. I'm going to put that away now and finish the story. I still have to edit it, but it needs to be done by Friday. I'm going to try to manage that next to my university stuff. But I'm really excited to be inspired, and I hope you are too. And let me know in the comments how your writing process is going. It is time to finish my tea and start writing. I have this beautiful mug from the Moorland Pottery that I bought in Scotland when I was doing my exchange semester in St Andrews, and it has quite a history, because I was in Scotland before COVID. COVID wasn't a topic yet. And then I was only there for 2 months, and I went home to see my parents for just a week. And because we had a 1 week break, and then I couldn't go back to Scotland because of the first lockdown, and COVID hit and the university closed down, and I had to finish the semester online. And all of my things were still in Scotland, so the mug as well that I had bought there in one of my first weeks there. And then they sent it to me months later with all my other stuff. Unfortunately, it has a big crack now from the travel, because they just stuffed it into a bag and sent it over. But it still works, and it's a very nice memory, even though the exchange semester wasn't that nice. That's another story. But the mug is very beautiful, and it's a lovely memory. Here we are back with the topic memories. Lovely memory to Scotland, and that was a very beautiful place, so I would love to go back. Maybe find another mug from the Moorland Pottery that isn't cracked. So hope you have a very beautiful and inspired day, and see you next week.